Book 20, Pallas and Odysseus consult of the killing of the wooers. But the goodly Odysseus laid him down to sleep in the vestibule of the house. He spread an undressed bull's hide on the ground, and above it many fleeces of sheep that the Achaeans were wont to slay in sacrifice, and Eurynome threw a mantle over him where he lay. There Odysseus lay wakeful, with evil thoughts against the wooers in his heart. And the women came forth from their chamber that aforetime were wont to lie with the wooers, making laughter and mirth among themselves. Then the heart of Odysseus was stirred within his breast, and much he communed with his mind and soul whether he should leap forth upon them and deal death to each, or suffer them to lie with the proud wooers, now for the last and latest time. And his heart growled sullenly within him, and even as a bitch stands over her tender whelps growling, when she spies a man she knows not, and she is eager to assail him, so growled his heart within him in his wrath at their evil deeds. Then he smote upon his breast and rebuked his own heart, saying, "Endure, endure, my heart. Yea, a baser thing thou once didst bear on that day when the Cyclops unrestrained in fury devoured the mighty men of my company. But still thou didst endure till thy craft found a way for thee forth from out the cave, where thou thoughtest to die." So spake. Spake. Alright, we got some spice for Baljeets.
Sriracha.
Awesome.
Sriracha.
So spake he, chiding his own spirit within him, and his heart verily abode steadfast in obedience to his word. But Odysseus himself lay tossing this way and that, and as when a man by a great fire burning takes a paunch full of fat and blood, and turns it this way and that, and longs to have it roasted most speedily, so Odysseus tossed from side to side, musing how he might stretch forth his hands upon the shameless wooers, being but one man against so many. Then down from heaven came Athena, and drew nigh him, fashioned in the likeness of a woman, and she stood over his head and spake, "Spake!" Baljeet, more spice?
Another sriracha.
I like how
Another
this adds a
sriracha.
game show element to our reading.
Well, it certainly breaks up the pace. How you doing, Baljeet?
I'm good.
Okay.
You
To
could
him,
that
saying-
could have been like a salsa pun because of pace picante.
Hey. Nice.
Getting saucy with us, I see. Lo, now again, wherefore art thou watching, most luckless of all men living? Is not this thy house, and is not that thy wife there within, and thy child, such as a son and men wish to have for their own? Then Odysseus of many counsels answered her, saying, "Yea, goddess, all this thou hast spoken as is meet. But my heart within me muses in some measure upon this, how I may stretch forth my hand upon the shameless wooers, being but one man, while they abide ever in their companies within. Moreover, this other and harder matter I ponder in my heart. Even if I were to slay them by thy will and the will of Zeus, whither should I flee from the avengers? Look well to this, I pray thee." Then answered the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, "O hard of belief! Yea, many there be that trust even in a weaker friend than I am, in one that is immortal and knows not such craft as mine. But I am a god that preserve thee to the end in all manner of toils. And now I will tell thee plainly, even should 50 companies of mortal men compass us about, eager to slay us in battle, even their kind shouldst thou drive off in their brave flocks. Let sleep in turn come over thee, to wake and to watch all night. This too is vexation of the spirit, and soon shalt thou rise from out of thy troubles."
High key energy.
So she-
Sorry.
No worries. Key energy. Good to see you. Welcome in. So she spake. Spake.
Do do
Uh,
do 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 do.
Would slumber upon his eyelids, but for her part the fair goddess went back to Olympus, full, metal, alchemist.
What beans do we have on the
Alright,
board so far?
This is the last. This is the last of the sriracha.
Okay,
The last of the sriracha.
that sounds epic. Sounds like it should be a documentary.
The sriracha, left to its own devices, is consumed by the Baljeet, but here we see one final moan, a final burst of spice, as the sriracha
Yes.
falls to the Baljeet's jaws.
Just hear a distant reverbed shout. Cry.
I'm spicy! Spicy!
I have my camera turned on so that people can see the spiciness of the beans as well.
I wish
Ah,
I could switch over,
okay.
but I can't.
It's on VOD, so you'll be able to go back and enjoy the moment.
We have to continue this in some form, not with the torture, but like,
But with the
Figure
game
something
show or the documentary?
okay, well, we can get really experimental with this now that you mention it.
You say this like I'm not always experimental.
I was referring more to the game show aspect.
We could do some game shows sometime. Like, this actually sounds like a fun way to reading Renegades.
Yeah, we gotta figure out a way to do it. It wouldn't be like with challenge jelly beans,
Oh.
though.
Just a Whose Line Is It Anyway style would be more than
Yeah, yeah.
sufficient.
Figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
part of the fun.
because I mean, this book is gonna end. We're gonna run out of spakes. We gotta find the next word.
Oh, right.
Because, like, you know, in
Those
Frankenstein, we
captains.
were doing Frankenstein all those times ago. The counter we had was countenance. We had a countenance counter because there were so many times she used the word that countenance.
I don't even remember if there was one for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Or Wizard of Oz. Well, Wizard of Oz, we had the infamous China chapter
That's true.
because they were all made out of China. And so
They
we
just kept
kept
saying
adding
over and
China
over
to
again.
descriptors and adjectives. We'll find a
You
thing.
know, these were before my time.
Yeah, they were. We've been on the Odyssey for so long now. Yeah, we gotta get some shorter books in here. We gotta maybe Balji
I
can
don't
come
know.
on for Anna Avonlea.
I mean, we've only been at this for what, 1 year? Odysseus was at this for 20, so
I checked the. Well, yeah, it's true. I think we've done it over a year now.
Hmm.
I checked the rogue resources in the in that channel on our Discord, and I think the date is 2024.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say it's been an Odyssey, it really has been.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Yeah. Alright. Full Metal Alchemist. While sleep laid hold of him, loosening the cares of his soul, sleep that loosens the limbs of men, his good wife awoke and wept as she sat on her soft bed. But when she had taken her fill of weeping, Artemis first, the fair lady, made her prayer. Artemis, lady and goddess, daughter of Zeus, whether even now thou wouldst plant thy shaft within my breast and take my life away, even in this hour, or else would that the storm wind might snatch me up and bear me hence down the dusky ways and cast me forth where the back-flowing Oceanus mingles with the sea. It should be even as when the storm winds bear away the daughters of Pandarius? Their
Yeah,
father and their
Pandarius.
mother, their
Or we
father and their
could
mother,
say-
the gods had
Panda Reyes, or Panda. I don't know. I want to try to make it funny.
Pandarius. Pandarius. Okay. Their father and their mother, the gods had slain, and the maidens were left orphans in their halls, and fair Aphrodite cherished them with curds and sweet honey and delicious wine. And Hera gave them. Is that here? Oh, Hera.
Here?
And Hera gave them beauty and wisdom. I think it's Hera though.
Oh, is it
But
supposed to be
it's
Hera?
capitalized.
Mm-hmm.
And Hera gave them beauty and wisdom beyond a lot of women, and holy Artemis dowered them with stature, and Athena taught them skill and all famous handiwork. Now while fair Aphrodite was wending to high Olympus to pray that glad marriage might be accomplished for the maidens, and to Zeus she went whose joy is in the thunder, for he knows all things well, what the fates give and deny to mortal men. In the meanwhile, the spirits of the storm snatched away these maidens and gave them to be handmaids to the hateful Renegades.
Aaron, yes.
Trying to see where it is. Can someone highlight it real quick?
Yes, someone
Oh,
can.
Erinyes, the Furies.
Yeah, okay.
There's the highlight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be the Erinyes, the Furies.
I had to do it with the
Erinyes.
sound effect, or else it wouldn't have worked.
Of course.
That's fair. Fair.
Yeah.
Very effective.
Yeah, thank you.
It's super effective. And gave them to be handmaids to the hateful Erinyes. Would that in such wise they that hold the mansions of Olympus would take me from the sight of men, or that fairest dressed Artemis would strike me, that so with the vision of Odysseus before mine eyes I might even pass beneath the dreadful earth, nor ever make a baser man's delight. But herein is an evil that may well be born, namely, when a man weeps all the day long, in great sorrow of heart, but sleep takes him in the night, for sleep makes him forgetful of all things, of good and evil, when once it has overshadowed his eyelids. But as for me, even the dreams of the gods send upon me are evil. For furthermore, this very night, one seemed to lie by my side in the likeness of my lord, as he was when he. Oh my goodness, in the likeness of my lord as he was when he went with the host. And then was my heart glad, since methought it was no vain dream, but a clear vision at the last. So she spake.
Here comes the bean.
It is jalapeno.
Jalapeno, everybody. Jalapeno.
On a stick.
All right. Ooh, okay. And anon came the golden throne dawn. Now goodly Odysseus caught the voice of her weeping, then he fell a-musing, and it seemed to him that even now she knew him, and was standing by his head. So he took up the mantle and the fleeces whereon he was lying, and set them on a high seat in the hall, and bare out the bull's hide out of the doors, and laid it there, and lifting up his hands, he prayed to Zeus. Father Zeus, if ye gods of your good will have led me over wet and dry, mine own country, after ye had plagued me sore, let some one, I pray, of the folk that are waking show me a word of good omen within, and without let some sign also be revealed to me from Zeus. So he spake.
Speak.
All right, now we're on to Cayenne.
Well, at least you've gotten away from some of the most rough of it.
I don't know if the Cayenne is supposed to be spicier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
It goes. So,
Yeah. I think it's
it goes
spicier.
sriracha. It is spicier, and there's 3 more of them. It goes sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, and Carolina Reaper. We're already finished off on habanero, and Carolina Reaper, so we're left with cayenne.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, there's still a whole bunch of jalapeno in the box, but out of the ones we earned, it's the cayenne. Okay. So he spake in prayer, and Zeus the counselor heard him. Spake. Straightway he thundered from shining Olympus, from on high, from the place of clouds, and goodly Odysseus was glad. Moreover, a woman, a grinder at the mill, uttered a voice of omen from within the house hard by, where stood by the mills of the shepherd of the people. These hand mills, 12 women in all, plied their task, making meal of barley and of wheat, the marrow of men. Now all the others were asleep, for they had ground out their task of rain, but one alone rested not yet, being the weakest of all. She now stayed her quern, and spake
Space.
Space.
a word assigned to her lord. Full metal alchemist.
Yeah, I figured that would happen on this
On this particular
Just-
occasion.
just getting us sailed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Full Metal Alchemist. Father Zeus, who rulest over gods and men, loudly hast thou thundered from the starry sky, yet nowhere is there a cloud to be seen. This surely is a portent thou art showing to some mortal. Fulfill now, I pray thee, even to miserable me, the word that I shall speak. Ooh, close call. May the wooers on this day, for the last and latest time, make their sweet feasting in the halls of Odysseus. They that have loosened my knees, with cruel toil to grind their barley meal, may they now sup their last. Thus she spake. Spake. Dun dun dun.
One more
the
Cayenne
bean?
after this.
Okay, one more Cayenne. And goodly Odysseus was glad in the omen of the voice and in the thunder of Zeus, for he thought that he had gotten his vengeance on the guilty. Now the other maidens in the fair halls of Odysseus gathered, and were kindling on the hearth, the never-resting fire. Telemachus rose from his bed, a godlike man, put on his raiment, and slung a sharp sword about his shoulders, and beneath his shining feet he bound his goodly sandals. He caught up his mighty spear shod with sharp bronze, and went and stood by the threshold, and spake.
Last one.
Okay. To Euryclea. Dear nurse, have ye honored our guest in the house with food and couch, or does he lie uncared for as he may? For this is my mother's way, wise as she is. Blindly she honors one of mortal men, even the worse. But the better she sends without honor away. Then the prudent Euryclea answered, Nay, my child, thou shouldst not now blame her where no blame is. For the stranger sat and drank wine, so long as he would, and of food he said he was no longer fain, for thy mother asked him. Moreover, against the hour when he should bethink him of rest and sleep, she bade the maidens strew for him a bed. But he, as one utterly wretched and ill-fated, refused to lie on a couch and under blankets, but on an undressed hide, and on the fleeces of sheep he slept in the vestibule, and we cast a mantle over him. So she spake. Spake.
How you doing, Baljeet?
I'm good. We're done with the beans. Just spicy a little bit. Still.
Okay.
I'm waiting to drink water.
Okay.
Water? I thought you would pick something a bit sweeter to deal with all the spice.
Nope.
You
He's
did
gonna
say honey on the box.
He's gonna amplify the experience.
Oh, no. I'm going to wait until it burns out, then I'll drink the water.
Ah, is that how that works?
Gotcha.
Maybe. I don't know.
We're figuring it out as we go. Telemachus passed out through the hall with his lance in hand, and 2 fleet dogs bear him company. He went on his way to the assembly place to join the goodly grieved Achaeans. But the good lady Euryclea, daughter of Ops, son of Pasenor. Pasenor? Okay.
Pasenor. Yeah, Euryclea,
Pace.
daughter of Ops, son of
Euryclea.
Pasenor.
Pasenor. Okay,
Oops.
got it. Daughter of Ops and son of Pasenor. called aloud to her maidens, "Come hither. Let some of you go busily and sweep the hall and sprinkle it on the fair, fashioned seats, throw purple coverlets, and others with sponges wipe all the tables clean and cleanse the mixing bowls and well-wrought double beakers, and others again go for water to the well and return with it right speedily. For the wooers will not long be out of the hall, but will return very early, for it is a feast day, yea, for all the people." So she spake. And they all gave ready ear, and hearkened. 20 of them went to the well of dark water, and the others there in the halls were busy with skillful hands. Then in came the serving men of the Achaeans. Thereon they cleft the faggots well and cunningly, while behold the women came back from the well. Then the swineherd joined them, leading 3 fatted boars, the best in all the flock. These he left to feed at large in the fair courts. But as for him, he spake to Odysseus gently, saying, "You're done with the... Are we almost done with those beans?"
Oh no, I've been done with the beans for like the past.
Oh,
4
you're done with the
steaks.
beans. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were ending on Carolina Reaper. Did we already
no.
pass
So
it?
I've been out of Carolina. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I've been out of Carolina Reaper in habanero for like
Oh.
since like last stream. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm just keeping you honest.
So that is the full extent of the bean saga.
It is until next year.
Okay. Or until we figure out some... I mean, it won't be spicy beans, but... Next book, a new game.
Of some sort. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, stranger, do the Achaeans at all look on thee with more regard, or do they dishonor thee in the halls as heretofore? Then Odysseus of many counsels answered him, saying, "Oh, that the gods Eumaeus may avenge the scorn wherewith these men deal insolently, and devise infatuate deeds in another's house, and have no place for shame." On such wise they spake one to another. And Melanthius drew near them, and the goatherd, leading the goats that were the most excellent in all the herds, to be a dinner for the wooers, and 2 shepherds bare him company. So he tethered the goats beneath the echoing gallery, and himself spake to Odysseus, and taunted him, saying, "Stranger, wilt thou still be a plague to us here in the hall, with thy begging of men? And wilt not get thee gone? Wilt not get thee gone? In no wise do I think we twain will be sundered, till we taste each the other's fists, for thy begging is out of all order."
A knuckle sandwich.
Also, yeah. Also there are elsewhere other feasts of the Achaeans. So he spake. But Odysseus of many counsels answered him not a word, but in silence he shook his head, brooding evil in the deep of his heart. Moreover, a third man came up. Philotius. A master of men, leading a barren heifer. Right? How do you pronounce that?
Heifer, yes.
Heifer, yeah.
For the wooers and fatted goats. Now ferrymen had brought them over from the mainland. Boatmen who send even other folks on their way. Whosoever comes to them, the cattle he tethered carefully, beneath the echoing gallery, and himself drew close to the swineherd and began to question him. "Swineherd, who is this strange but newly come to our house? From what men does he claim his birth? Where are his kin and his native fields? Hapless is he, yet in fashion he is like a royal lord. But the gods mar the goodliness of wandering men, when even for kings they have woven the web of trouble." So he spake, and came close to him, offering his right hand in welcome and uttering his voice. Spake to him winged words. Father and stranger, hail. May happiness be thine in the time to come, but as now thou art fast holden in many sorrows. Father Zeus, none other god is more baneful than thou. Thou hast no compassion on men that are thine own begetting, but makest them to have fellowship with evil and with bitter pains. The sweat break out on me when I beheld him, and mine eyes stand full of the tears for memory of Odysseus. For he too, methinks, is clad with such vile raiment as this, and is wandering among men, if happily he yet lives and sees the sunlight. But if he be dead already, and in the house of Hades, then woe is me for the noble Odysseus, who set me over his cattle while I was but a lad in the land of the Cephallenians. And now these wax numberless. In no better wise could the breed of broad-browed cattle of any mortal increase, even as the ears of corn. But strangers command me to ever driving these for themselves to devour, and they care nothing for the air in the house, nor tremble at the vengeance of the gods, for they are eager even now to divide amongst themselves the possessions of our Lord, who is long afar. Now my heart within my breast, Now my heart within my breast often revolves this thing. Truly it were an evil deed, while a son of the master is yet alive, to get me away to the land of strangers and go off with cattle and all to alien men. But this is more grievous still, to abide here in affliction, watching over the herds of other men. Yea, long ago I would have fled and gone forth to some other of the proud kings, for things are now past sufferance, but still my thought is of that hapless one. If he might come, I know not whence, and make a scattering of the wooers in the halls. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Then Odysseus of many counsels answered him, saying, Neatherd, seeing thou art not like to an evil man or foolish, and of myself I mark how that thou hast understanding of heart. Therefore I will tell thee somewhat, and swear a great oath to confirm it. Be Zeus now witness before any god, and the hospitable board and the hearth of noble Odysseus, whereunto I am come, that while thou art still in this place, Odysseus shall come home, and thou shalt see with thine eyes, if thou wilt, the slaying of the wooers who lord it here.
Then the neatherd made answer, saying,
Would, stranger, that Cronion may accomplish this word. So wouldst thou know what my might is, and how my hands follow to obey.
In like manner, Eumaeus prayed to all the gods that wise Odysseus might return to his own home. On such wise they spake to one another, but the wooers at that time were framing death and doom for Telemachus. Even so, there came by them a bird on their left, an eagle of lofty flight with a cowering dove in his clutch. Then Amphinomus made harangue and spake among them.
Friends, this counsel of ours will not go well, namely the slaying of Telemachus. Rather, let us bethink us of the feast.
So spake Amphinomus, and his saying pleased them well. They passed into the halls of godlike Odysseus, and laid by their mantles on the chairs and the high seats, and sacrificed great sheep and stout goats, and the fatlings of the boars and the heifer of their herd. Then they roasted the entrails, and served them round, and mixed wine in the bowl, and the swineherd set a cup by each man. And Philotius, master of men, handed them wheaten bread in beautiful baskets, and Melanthius poured out the wine. So they put forth their hands on the good cheer set before them. Now Telemachus, in his crafty purpose, made Odysseus to sit down within the established hall by the threshold of stone, and placed for him a mean settle and a little table. He set by him his mess of the entrails, and poured wine into a golden cup, and spake to him, saying,
There, sit thee down, drinking thy wine among the lords, and the taunt and buffets of all the wooers I myself will ward off from thee. For this is no house of public resort, but the very house of Odysseus, and from me he won it. But Ye wooers, refrain your minds from rebukes and your hands from buffets, that no strife and feud may arise. So he said, and they all bit their lips and marveled at Telemachus, and that he spake boldly. Then Antinous, son of Eurypheles, spake among them, saying, Hard though the word be, let us accept it, Achaeans, even the word of Telemachus, though mightily he threatens us in his speech. For Zeus Cronion hath hindered us of our purpose, else would we have silenced him in our halls, shrill orator that he is. So spake Antinous. Spake! But
I don't know why it's
Telemachus
so
took
funny to me
no...
tonight.
Hey, it's funny to me most nights. But Telemachus took no heed of his words. Now the henchmen were leading through the town the holy hecatomb of the gods, and lo, the long-haired Achaeans were gathered beneath the shady grove of Apollo, the prince of archery. Now when they had roasted the outer flesh and drawn it off the spits, they divided the messes and shared the glorious feast. And beside Odysseus they waited, set an equal share, the same as that which fell to themselves. For so Telemachus commanded, the dear son of divine Odysseus. Now Athena would in no wise suffer the lordly wooers to abstain from biting scorn, that the pain might sink yet deeper into the heart of Odysseus, son of Laertes. There was among the wooers a man of lawless heart, Ctesippus was his name, and in the same was his home, who, trusting, forsooth, to his vast possessions, was wooing the wife of Odysseus the lord long afar. And now he spake among the proud wooers, Full Metal Alchemist.
You really said that?
Maybe.
I know I've made that joke before.
It gets funnier every time you tell it.
Joyce. Full Metal Alchemist. Hear me, ye lordly wooers, and I will say somewhat. The stranger verily has long had his due portion as his meat, an equal share, for it is not fair nor just to rob the guest of Telemachus of their right, whosoever they may be that come to this house. Go to then, I will also bestow on him a stranger's gift, that he in turn may give a present either to the bathwoman or to any other of the thralls within the house of godlike Odysseus. Therewith he caught up an ox's foot from the dish where it lay and hurled it with strong hand. But Odysseus lightly avoided it with a turn of his head and smiled right grimly in his heart. And the ox's foot smote the well-builded wall. Then Telemachus rebuked
Ctesippus.
Theseus.
Ctesippus.
Yes, Theseus.
But there's P's.
Ctesippus, saying,
Ctesippus, yes. Sorry.
Is it?
Verily, Ctesippus.
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 Surely that name won't come up again after this.
Verily, Ctesippus, it turned out happier for thy heart's pleasure, as it is. Thou didst not smite the stranger, for he himself avoided that which was cast at him, else surely would I have struck thee through the midst with the sharp spear, in place of a wedding banquet thy father would have had to busy him about a funeral feast in this place. Wherefore, let no man make show of unseemly deeds in this my house, for now I have understanding to discern both good and evil. But in time past I was yet a child, but as needs we must, we still endure to see these deeds. While sheep are slaughtered and wine drunken and bread devoured, for hard it is for one man to restrain many. But come, no longer work me harm out of an evil heart, for if ye be set on slaying me, even me with the sword, even that would I rather endure, and far better would it be to die than to witness forever these unseemly deeds, strangers shamefully entreated, and men hailing the handmaidens in foul wise through the fair house. So he spake. He's telling them off. And they all were hushed in silence. And Leighton at last spake
Speak.
them Agelos, son of Damastor.
Okay, wait. Agelus? Or
Agalaeus, wouldn't it?
Or Agalaeus.
Agalaeus.
Or Agalaus.
Agalaeus.
Or
Agalaus. Well, do you pronounce it
Agalaga-ding-dong.
Menelaus or Menelaus?
I pronounced it Menelaus.
I do Menelaus.
So
I was, like, just for curiosity after one stream, like, looking it up. And I know it's not, like, the same pronunciation key as Ancient Greek, but, like, Contemporary Greek. I do think they... In Greek, they do, like, Menelaus. And like, I think it's... I don't know. I gotta look it up again. Wait, here.
So,
One moment.
Agalaus.
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring out my Google Translate app and see what the robot says. Hold on.
Okay.
Aw, don't trust the AI, no!
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Better to guess and be wrong than trust the AI.
Is it AI?
Yes.
I thought it was just...
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
Okay.
using LLMs for the Translate app for a while now.
Like, even for the... I guess you're right. Yeah. Wap.
It's times like these we find an expert. Anyway, or just mess around and find out.
Yeah. Agalaeus,
Agalaeus.
I would say.
And Leighton at last spake among them. Agalaeus.
Speak.
Spake, son of Damastor. Friends, when a righteous word has been spoken, none surely would rebuke another with hard speech and be angry. Misuse ye not this stranger, nor any of the thralls that are in the house of godlike Odysseus, but to Telemachus. But to Telemachus,
Now we're all confused.
oh my goodness. but to Telemachus himself, I would speak a soft word, and to his mother, if perchance it may find favor with the mind of those twain. So long as your hearts within you had hope of the wise Odysseus returning to his own house, so long none could be wroth that he waited and held back the wooers in the halls. For so had it been better if Odysseus had returned and come back to his own home. But now the event is plain, and he will return no more. Go then, sit by thy mother and tell her all, namely, that she must wed the best man that woos her, and whose gives most gifts, so shalt thou with gladness live on the heritage of thy father, eating and drinking, while she cares for another's house. Then wise Telemachus answered and said, Nay, by Zeus, Agalaeus, and by the griefs of my father, who far away methinks from Ithaca has perished or goes wandering. In no wise do I delay my mother's marriage. Nay, I bid her be married to what man she will, and withal I offer gifts without number. But I do indeed feel shame to drive her forth from the hall, despite her will, by a word of compulsion. God forbid that ever should this be. Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. Full Metal Alchemist. So spake Telemachus. But among the wooers, Pallas Athena roused laughter unquenchable, and drave their wits wandering. And now they were laughing with alien lips, and blood bedabbled was the flesh they ate, and their eyes were filled with tears, and their soul was fain of lamentation. Then the godlike Theoclymenus, yeah, I felt good about saying that, spake among them.
Spake. 400 spakes.
400 spake.
400 spakes.
Good job on winning that catch game, Crundle.
Yeah, 5 souls to Crundle.
Ah, wretched men, what woe is this ye suffer? Shrouded in night are your heads and your faces and your knees, and kindled is the voice of wailing, and all cheeks are wet with tears, and the walls and the fair main beams of the roof are sprinkled with blood. And the porch is full, and full is the court of ghosts that hasten hellwards beneath the gloom, and the sun had perished out of heaven. And an evil mist has overspread the world. So spake he. Spake. And they all laughed sweetly at him. Then Eurymachus, son of Polybus, began to speak to them, saying, "The guest that is newly come from a strange land is beside himself. Quick, ye young men, and convey him forth out of doors, that he may go to the place of the gathering, since here he finds it dark as night." Then godlike Theoclymenus answered him, Eurymachus, in no wise do I seek guides of thee to send me on my way. Eyes have I, and ears, and both my feet, and a sable mind in my breast of no mean fashioning. With these I will go forth, for I see evil coming on you, which not one man of the wooers may avoid or shun. Of all you who in the house of divine Odysseus deal insolently with men and devise infatuate deeds. Therewith he went forth from out the fair-lying halls, and came to Piraeus.
Piraeus?
Yes, Piraeus. That was who was there, who received him gladly. Then all wooers, looking at one the other, provoked Telemachus to anger, laughing at his guests. And thus some one of the haughty youths would speak. Telemachus, no man is more luckless than thou and his guests, seeing thou keepest such a filthy wanderer, whosoever he be, always longing for bread and wine, and skilled in no peaceful work nor any deed of war, but a mere burden of the earth. And this other fellow again must stand up to the play the seer. Nay, but if thou wouldst listen to me, much better it were. Let us cast these strangers on board a benched ship, and send them to the Sicilians, whence they would fetch thee their price. So spake the wooers. Spake. The Sicilians spake, and he heeded not their words. In silence he looked towards his father, expecting evermore the hour when he should stretch forth his hands upon the shameless wooers. Now the daughter of Icarius, wise Penelope, had set her fair chair over against them, and heard the words of each one of the men in the halls. For in the midst of laughter they had got the ready. Let me go back. Hold on. Rewind. Now the daughter of Icarius, wise Penelope, had set her fair chair over against them, and heard the words of each one of the men in the halls. For in the midst of laughter they had got ready the midday meal, a sweet meal, and abundant, for they had sacrificed many cattle. But never could there be a banquet less gracious than that supper, such an one as the goddess and brave men. Such an one as the goddess and the brave man were soon to spread for them, for that they had begun the devices of shame. Book 21. Pew 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 pew. How are we feeling?
I mean, give me just a moment here. I need to clarify something. I might be getting called away.
Okay. I can put a BRB up.
402 speaks. 402 speaks.
402 speaks.
I'm gonna put on a boss battle.
What does that mean?
It means people can do the jumpy jumps. Instead of doing the jumpy jumps, they all can fight a giant pumpkin.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. Pumpy umpy umpkin, huh?
Yeah.
Have ye any words, Celine?
I am still waiting for the answer here.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's gonna take just a moment, but I'll let you know once I know.
okay. Meanwhile, I will force all my mental energy on defeating this pumpkin.
Ah,
I have to go into Balji's chat, though, for that.
Oh, yeah.
How much time do I have?
okay.
Oh,
So yes, I am good to go for a little bit here.
Okay. Baljeet, how do you feel about reading?
yeah, I can go for another book, I think. I thought it was a short book we just read.
I mean, the synopses are getting smaller. You know,
Well, and we're getting down to what, the last 5 books or so?
I think 23 is the last book.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we might be able to push through and just
Table of
finish this here
contents.
tonight.
Oh, 24 is the last book.
Uh,
I mean, it's Saturday, but you
What
know,
do you think, Baljeet?
It's up to Baljeet, really.
I think doing for one separate one would be good. Because if
Yeah.
we're doing 2 books tonight, yeah.
Yeah, we could do 2 books
Because if we look at
now.
the length of like the next 3, yeah. Because we look
Yeah.
at the length of the next 3 and then kind of pace out from there.
We just gotta get good. I'll get good at scheduling
Good.
pretty soon. Yeah. So,
I'll get good at scheduling, they say.
yes, they do say. Yes, they do say. All right, let us do one more book for this eve. Shall we? So that's a Full Metal Alchemist
shall.
to Celine then.
Alrighty. Book 21. Penelope bringeth forth her husband's bow, which the suitors could not bend, but was bent by Odysseus. Now the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, put it into the heart of the daughter of Icarius, wise Penelope, to set the bow and the axes of grey iron for the wooers in the halls of Odysseus to be the weapons of the contest and the beginning of death. So she descended the tall staircase of her chamber, and took the well-bent key in her strong hand, a goodly key of bronze, whereupon was a handle of ivory. And she betook her with her handmaidens to the treasure chamber in the utmost part of the house, where there lay the treasures of her lord, bronze and gold and wood and iron. And there lay the back-bent bow and the quiver for the arrows, and many shafts were therein, winged for death, gifts of a friend of Odysseus that met with him in Lacedaemon, Iphitus,
yeah.
son of
Yes.
wise Ortilochus. Now, Odysseus had gone thither.
Wait, I think you
Where am I?
skipped a line there.
Oh.
So you went
Oh,
from
son of
so
Eurytus.
it's son of
Iphitus,
Iphitus,
son of
son of
Eurytus,
Eurytus.
a man like to the gods.
Yeah.
These twain fell in love with one another in Messene, in the house of wise Ortilochus. Now Odysseus had gone thither to recover somewhat that was owing to him from all the people, for the men of Mycenae had lifted 300 sheep in benched ships from out of Ithaca, with the shepherds of the flock. In quest of these, it was that Odysseus went on a far embassy, being yet a lad, for his father and the other elders sent him forth. Moreover, Iphitus came thither in his search for 12 brood mares, which he had lost, with sturdy mules at the teat. These same it was that brought him death and destiny in the latter end, when he came to the child of Zeus, hardy of heart, the man Heracles, that had no knowledge of great adventures, who smote Iphitus through his guest in the house, in his forwardness, and had no regard for the vengeance of the gods, nor for the table which he spread before him. For after the meal he slew him, his guest though he was, and kept for himself in the halls the horses strong of hoof. After these was Iphitus asking, when he met with Odysseus, and he gave him the bow which of old great Eurytus bare, and had left at his death, to his son in his lofty house. And Odysseus gave Iphitus a sharp sword and a mighty spear, for the beginning of a loving friendship. But never had they acquaintance one of another at the board. Ere that might be, the son of Zeus slew Iphitus, son of Eurytus, a man like to the immortals, the same that gave Odysseus the bow. But goodly Odysseus would never take it with him on the black ships as he went to the wars, but the bow was laid at home in the halls as a memorial of a dear guest, and he carried it to his own land. Now, when the fair lady had come even to the treasure chamber, and had stepped upon the threshold of oak, which the carpenter had on a time planned cunningly, and over it had made straight the line, doorposts also had he fitted thereby, whereon he set shining doors, anon she quickly loosed the strap from the handle of the door, and thrust in the key, and with a straight aim shot back the bolts. And even as a bull roars that is grazing in the meadow, so mightily roared the fat doors smitten by the key, and speedily they flew open before her. Then she stepped on to the high floor where the coffers stood, wherein the fragrant raiment was stored. Then she stretched forth her hand and took the bow from off the pin, all in the bright case which sheathed it round. And there she sat down, and set the case upon her knees, and cried aloud and wept, and took out the bow of her lord. Now when she had her fill of tearful lament, she set forth to go to the hall to the company of proud wooers, with a back-bent bow in her hands, and the quiver for the arrows, and many shafts were therein winged for death. And her maidens along with her bare a chest, wherein lay much store of iron and bronze, the gear of combat of their lord. Now when the fair lady had come unto the wooers, she stood by the pillar of the well-builded roof, holding up her glistening tire before her face, and a faithful maiden stood on either side of her, and straightway she spake out among the wooers, and declared her words, saying, Hear me, ye lordly wooers, what vexed this house, that ye might eat and drink here evermore, for as much as the master is long gone, nor could ye find any other mark for your speech, but all your desire was to wed me and take me to wife. Nay, come now, ye wooers, seeing that this the prize that is put before you. I shall set forth for you the great bow of divine Odysseus, and whoso shall most easily string the bow in his hands and shoot through all 12 axes, with him will I go and forsake his house, this house of my wedlock, so fair and filled with all livelihood, which methinks shall yet remember I in a dream.
Forsake.
So spake she, and commanded Eumaeus, the goodly swineherd, to set the bow for the wooers and the axes of grey iron. And Eumaeus took them with tears and laid them down, and over the otherwhere the neatherd wept, when he beheld the bow of his lord. Then Antinous rebuked them, and spake, and hailed them, Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Foolish boors, whose thoughts look not beyond the day. Ah, wretched pair, wherefore now do ye shed tears and stir the soul of the lady within her, when her heart already lies low in pain for that she has lost her dear lord? Nay, sit and feast in silence, or else get ye forth and weep, and leave the bow here behind. Be a terrible contest for the wooers, for methinks that this polished bow does not lightly yield itself to be strung. For there is no man among all these present such as Odysseus was, and I myself saw him. Yea, I remember it well, though I was still but a child. So spake he, but his heart within him hoped that he would string the bow and shoot through the iron. Yet verily he was to be the first that should taste the arrow out of the hands of the noble Odysseus, whom but late he was dishonoring as he sat in the halls and was inciting all his fellows to do likewise. Then the mighty prince Telemachus spake among them, saying, Lo now, in very truth, Cronion has robbed me of my wits. My dear mother, wise as she is, declares that she will go with a stranger and forsake this house. Yet I laugh, and in my silly heart I am glad. Nay, come now, ye wooers, seeing that this is the prize which is set before you, a lady, the like of whom there there is not now in the Achaean land, neither in the sacred Pylos, nor in Argos, nor in Mycenae, nor in Ithaca, nor in the dark mainland. Nay, but ye know all this yourselves. Why need I praise my mother? Come, therefore, delay not the issue with excuses, nor hold much longer aloof from the drawing of the bow, that we may see the thing that is to be. Yea, and I myself would make trial of this bow. If I shall string it and shoot through the iron, that I should not sorrow if my lady mother were to quit the halls and go the stranger, seeing that I should be left behind. Will be able now to live my father's goodly gear of combat. Therewith he cast from off his neck his cloak of scarlet, and sprang to his full height, and put away the sword from his shoulders. First he dug a good trench and set up the axes, one long trench for them all. And over it he made the straight line, round about stamped in the earth, and amazement fell on all that beheld how orderly he set the axes, though never before had he seen it so. Then he went and stood by the threshold and began to prove the bow. Thrice he made it tremble to his great desire to draw it, and thrice he rested from his effort, though still he hoped in his heart to string the bow and shoot through the iron. And now at last he might have strung it, mightily straining thereat for the fourth time, but Odysseus nodded, frowning, and stayed him for all his eagerness. And the strong Prince Telemachus spake. Spake among them again. Lo, you now, even to the end of my days, I shall be a coward and a weakling, or it may be I am too young, and have as yet no trust in my hands to defend me from such an one as does violence without a cause. But come now, ye who are mightier men than I, essay the bow, and let us make an end of this contest. Therewith he put the bow from him on the ground, leaned it against the smooth and well compacted doors, and the swift shaft he propped hard against the fair bow tip, and then sat down once more on the high seat whence he had risen. And Antinous, son of Eupeithes, spake among them, saying, Rise up in order, all my friends, beginning with the left, even from the place whence the wine is poured. So spake Antinous, and the saying pleased them well. Then first stood up Leodes, son of Onops, who was their soothsayer, and ever sat by the fair mixing bowl of the extremity of the hall. He alone hated their infatuated deeds and was indignant with all the wooers. He now first took the bow and the swift shaft, and he went and stood by the threshold and began to prove the bow. But he could not bend it, or ever that might be. His hands grew weary with the straining, his unworn, delicate hands. So he spake among the wooers, saying, Spake, full metal alchemist.
All right. Good words to speak before saying such a speech. Full metal alchemist. Friends, of a truth I cannot bend it. Let some other take it. Ah, many of our bravest shall this bow rob of spirit and of life, since truly it is far better for us to die than to live on, and to fail of that for which we assemble evermore in this place, day by day expecting the prize. Many there be even now that hope in their hearts and desire to wed Penelope, the bedfellow of Odysseus. But when such an one make trial of the bow, and see the issue, thereafter let him woo some other fair-robed Achaean woman with his bridal gifts, and seek to win her. So may Our Lady wed the man that gives most gifts, and comes as the chosen of fate. So he spake. and put from him the bow, leaning it against the smooth and well-compacted doors, and the swift shaft he propped hard by against the fair bow tip, and then he sat down once more on the high seat whence he had risen. But Antinous rebuked him, and spake, and hailed him, Renegades, what word hath escaped the door of thy lips? A hard word and a grievous? Nay, it angers me to hear it, and to think that a bow such as this shall rob our bravest of spirit and of life, and all because thou canst not draw it. For I tell thee that thy lady mother bare thee not of such might as to draw a bow and shoot arrows, but there be others of the proud wooers that shall draw it soon. So he spake, and commanded Melanthius, the goatherd, saying, Up now, light a fire in the halls, Melanthius, and place a great settle by the fire and a fleece thereon, and bring forth a great ball of lard that is within, that we young men may warm and anoint the bow therewith, and prove it, and make an end of the contest. So he spake, and Melanthius soon kindled the never-resting fire, and drew up a settle, and placed it near, and put a fleece thereon, and he brought forth a great ball of lard that was within. Therewith the young men warmed the bow, and made essay, but could not string it, for they were greatly lacking of such might. And Antinous still held to the task, and godlike Eurymachus, chief men among the wooers, who were far the most excellent of all. But those of the twain went forth, both together from the house, the neatherd and the swineherd of godlike Odysseus, and Odysseus passed out after them. But when they were now gotten without the gates and the courtyard, he uttered his voice, and spake to them in gentle words. Is this a gentle spake? Neatherd, and thou swineherd, shall I say somewhat, or keep it to myself? Nay, my spirit bids me declare it. What manner of men would ye be to help Odysseus, if he should come thus suddenly, I know not whence, and some god were to bring him? Would ye stand on the side of the wooers, or of Odysseus? Tell me even as your heart and spirit bid you. Then the neatherd answered him, saying, Father Zeus, if but thou wouldst fulfill this wish, oh, that man might come, and some god lead him hither, so shouldst thou know what my might is, and how my hands follow to obey. In like manner Eumaeus prayed to all the gods that wise Odysseus might return to his own home. Now when he, for a surety, what spirit they were of, once more he answered, and spake to them, saying, Behold, home am I come, even I. After much travail and sore am I come in the 20th year to mine own country, and I know how that my coming is desired by you alone of all my thralls. For none besides have I heard a prayer that I might return once more to my home. And now I will tell you all the truth, even as it shall come to pass. If the gods shall subdue the proud wooers to my hands, I will bring you each one a wife, and will give you a heritage of your own, and a house builded near to me, and ye twain shall be thereafter in mine eyes, as the brethren and companions of Telemachus. But behold, I will likewise show you a most manifest token, that ye may know me well and be certified in heart. Even the wound that the boar dealt me with his white tusk long ago, when I went to Parnassus with the sons of Autolycus. Therewith he drew aside the rags from the great scar, and when the twain had beheld it and marked it well, they cast their arms about the wise Odysseus, and fell a-weeping, and kissed him lovingly on the head and shoulders. And in like manner Odysseus too kissed their heads and hands. And now would the sunlight have gone down upon their sorrowing, had not Odysseus himself stayed them, saying, Cease ye from weeping and lamentation, lest someone come forth from the hall and see us, and tell it likewise in the house. Nay, go ye within one by one, and not both together, I first, and you following, and let this be the token between us. All the rest, as many are proud wooers, will not suffer that I should be given the bow and quiver. Do thou then, goodly Eumaeus, as thou bearest the bow through the hall, set it in my hands, and speak to the women that they bar. And speak to the women that they bar the well-fitting doors of their chamber. And if any of them hear the sound of groaning or the din of men within our walls, let them not run forth, but abide where they are in silence at their work. Put on thee, goodly Philitius, I lay this charge, to bolt and bar the outer gate of the court, and swiftly to tie the knot. Therewith he passed within fair-lying halls, and went and sat upon the settle whence he had risen, and likewise the 2 thralls of divine Odysseus went within. And now Eurymachus was handling the bow, warming it on this side and on that, on the light of the fire. Yet even so he could not string it, and in his great heart he groaned mightily, and in his heaviness of spirit he spake aloud.
Speak.
And called aloud, saying, aloud. Lo, you now, truly am I grieved for myself and for you all. Oh, bark, bark.
Bark, bark, bark.
Bark, 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 bark.
Let me go calm her down. All Full Metal Alchemist here. Be right back.
Alrighty.
You're right. I need to be here to turn the page. You know what? Let me just be right back real quick.
Alright, no worries. We'll
Okay.
see you soon.
Bark, bark, bark. Bark,
Back, back, back.
bark,
Back,
bark,
back, back.
bark.
Back, back, back. Back, back, woof. Oh, wow.
They mentioned benched boats in this. Are those boats that have like rowing boat, like, or it has like a place for people to sit and row?
I mean, I
Essentially?
would expect so, but
Okay.
I will admit I'm not like the best versed on the layouts of Hellenic rowing accoutrements.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, maybe it's fair. I wouldn't want to guarantee it. But either way.
Let's see. Edge boats. Odyssey.
Alright. I think she's good.
Alright.
And welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
So, Celine, why don't you take it from he spake and called aloud, saying.
Alright. Lo you now, truly am I grieved for myself and for you all. Not for the marriage do I mourn so greatly, afflicted though I be. There are many Achaean women besides, some sea begirt Ithaca itself, and some in other cities. Nay, but I grieve if indeed we are so far worse than godlike Odysseus in might, seeing that we cannot bend the bow. 'Twill be a shame even for men unborn to hear thereof. Then Antinous, son of Euripides, answered him, Eurymachus, this shall not be so, and thou thyself too knowest it. For today the feast of the archer god is held in the land, a holy feast. Who at such a time would be bending bows? Nay, set it quietly by. What and if we should let the axes all stand as they are? None, methinks, will come to the hall of Odysseus, son of Laertes, and carry them away. Go to now. Let the wine-bearer pour for libation into each cup in turn, that after the drink offering we may set down the curved bow. And in the morning bid Melanthius, the goatherd, to lead hither the very best goats in all his herds, that we may lay pieces of the thighs on the altar of Apollo the archer, and essay the bow and make an end of the contest. So spake Antinous, and the saying pleased them well. Then the henchmen poured water on their hands, and pages crowned the mixing bowls with drink, and served out the wine to all, when they had poured for libation into each cup in turn. But when they had poured forth and had drunken their heart's desire, Odysseus of many counsels spake among them out of a crafty heart, saying, Hear me, ye wooers of the renowned queen, that I may say that which my heart within me bids. And mainly to Eurymachus I make my prayer, and to the godlike Antinous, for as much as has spoken even this word aright, namely that for this present ye cease from your archery, and leave the issue to the gods. And in the morning the god will give the victory to whomsoever he will. Come, therefore, give me the polished bow, that in your presence I may prove my hands and strength, whether I have yet any forces such as one it was in my supple limbs, or whether my wanderings in needy fare have even now destroyed it. So spake he,
Oh man,
and they
past 420 speaks. Sorry.
nice. So spake he, and they all were exceeding wroth, for fear lest he should string the polished bow. And Antinous rebuked him and spake, and hailed him. Wretched stranger, thou hast no wit, nay, never so little. Art thou not content to feast at ease in our high company, and to lack not thy share of the banquet, but to listen to our speech and our discourse, while no guest and beggar beside thee hears our speech? Wine it is that wounds thee, honey-sweet wine, that is the bane of others too, even of all who take great draughts and drink out of measure. Wine it was that darkened the mind even of the centaur, renowned Eurytion, in the hall of the high-hearted Perseus, when he went to lap at thee, and after his heart was darkened with wine, he wrought foul deeds in his frenzy, in the house of Perseus. Then wrath fell on all the heroes, and they leaped up and dragged him forth through the porch, when they had shorn off his ears and nostrils with pitiless sword. And then with darkened mind he bare about with him the burden of his sin and foolishness of heart. Thence was the feud begun between the centaurs and mankind, but first for himself gat he hurt, being heavy with wine. And even so, I declare great mischief unto thee, if thou shalt string the bow, for thou shalt find no courtesy at the hand of anyone in our land. And anon we will send thee in a black ship to Echetus, the maimer of all men, and thence shalt thou not be saved alive. Nay then, drink at thine ease, and strive not still with men that are younger than thou. Then wise Penelope answered him, Antinous, truly it is not fair nor just to rob the guests of Telemachus of their due, whosoever he may be that comes to this house. Dost thou think if yonder stranger strings the great bow of Odysseus in the pride of his might and of his strength of his arm, that he will lead me to his home and make me his wife? Nay, he himself methinks has no such hope in his breast. So as for that, let not any of you fret himself while feasting in this place, that were indeed unmeet. Then Eurymachus, son of Polybus, answered her, saying, Daughter of Icarius, wise Penelope, it is not that we deem he will lead thee to his home, far be such a thought from us, but we dread the speech of men and women, lest some day one of the baser sort among the Achaeans say, Truly men far too mean are wooing the wife of one that is noble, nor can they string the polished bow. But the stranger and beggar came in his wanderings and lightly strung the bow and shot through the iron. Thus will they speak, and this will turn to our reproach. Then wise Penelope answered him, Eurymachus, never can there be a fair fame in the land for those that devour and dishonor the house of a prince. But why make ye this thing into a reproach? But behold, our guest is great of growth and well knit, and avows himself to be born of the son of a good father. Come then, give ye him the polished bow, that we may see that which is to be. For thus will I declare in my saying, and it shall surely come to pass. If he shall string the bow, and Apollo grant him renown, I will clothe him with a mantle and a doublet, goodly raiment, and I will give him a sharp javelin to defend him against the dogs and men, and a two-edged sword and sandals to bind beneath his feet. And I will send him wheresoever and his heart and spirit bid him to go. Then wise Telemachus answered her, saying, My mother, as for the bow, no Achaean is mightier than I to give or to deny it to whomso I will. Neither as many are as lords in the rocky Ithaca, nor in the isles on this side of Elis, the pasture land of horses. Not one of these shall force me in mine own despite, if I choose to give this bow, yea, once and for all, to the stranger to bear away with him. But do thou go to thine own chamber, and mind thine own housewiferys, the loom and distaff, and bid thine handmaids ply thy tasks. But the bow shall be for men, for all but for me in chief, for mine is the lordship in the house. Then in amaze she went back to her chamber, for she laid up the wise saying of her son in her heart. She ascended to the upper chamber with the women of her handmaids, and then was bewailing Odysseus, her dear lord, till grey-eyed Athene cast sweet sleep upon her eyelids. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. And the goodly swineherd had taken the curved bow and was bearing it, when the wooers all cried out upon him in the halls, and thus some of the haughty youths would speak. Whither now art thou bearing the curved bow, thou wretched swineherd, crazed in thy wits? Lo, soon shall the swift hounds of thine own breeding eat thee hard by thy swine, alone and away from men, if Apollo will be gracious to us and the other deathless gods. Even so they spake.
Speak.
And he took and set down the bow in that very place, being affrighted because many cried out on him in the halls. Then Telemachus from the other side spake. Threatening spake. And called aloud, Father, bring hither the bow. Soon shalt thou rue it that thou servest many masters. Take heed, lest I, that am younger than thou, pursue thee to the field, and pelt thee with stones, for in might I am the better. If only I were so much mightier in strength of arm than all the wooers that are in the halls, soon would I send many and one forth on a woeful way from out our house, for they imagine mischief against us. So he spake. And all the wooers launched sweetly at him. Laughed sweetly at him, and seized now their cruel anger toward Telemachus. And the swineherd bare the bow through the hall, and went up to wise Odysseus, and set it in his hands. And he called forth the nurse Eurycleia from the chamber, and spake to her. Spake. Wise Eurycleia, Telemachus bids thee bar the well-fitting doors of thy chamber, and if any of the women hear the sound of groaning or the din of men within our walls, let them not go forth, but abide where they are in silence at their work. So he spake. And wingless her speech remained, and she barred the doors of the fair lying chambers. Then Philotes hasted forth silently from the house, and barred the other gates of the fenced court. Now there lay beneath the gallery the cable of a curved ship, fashioned of the fibrous plant, wherewith he made fast the gates, and then himself passed within. Then he went and sat on the settle whence he had risen, and gazed upon Odysseus. He already was handling the bow, turning it every way about, and proving it on its side and that, lest the worms might have eaten the horns when the lord of the bow was away. And thus men spake. Looking each one to his neighbor. Verily he has a good eye, and a shrewd turn for a bow. Either, methinks, he himself has such a bow lying by at home, or else he is set on making one. In such wise does he turn it hither and thither in his hands, thus this evil-witted beggar. Another again of the haughty youths would say, but that the fellow may have profit thereof, just so surely as he shall ever prevail to bend his bow. So spake the wooers. Spake. Odysseus of many counsels had lifted the great bow and viewed it on every side, and even as when a man that is skilled in the lyre and in minstrelsy easily stretches a cord about a new peg, after tying at either end the twisted sheep gut. Even so, Odysseus straightway bent the great bow, all without effort, and took it in his right hand, and proved the bowstring, which rang sweetly at the touch, in tone like a swallow. And great grief came upon the wooers, and the color of their countenance,
Countenance returns.
was changed, and Zeus thundered loud, showing forth his tokens. The steadfast goodly Odysseus was glad thereat, and in that the son of deep counseling Cronos had sent him a sign. Then he caught up a swift arrow which lay by his table, bare. The other shafts were stored within the hollow quiver, those whereof the Achaeans were soon to taste. He took and laid it on the bridge of the bow, and held a notch, and drew the string even from a settle, whereon he sat. And the bronze-weighted shaft passed clean through and out at the last. Then he spake to Telemachus, saying,
Speak.
Speak, full metal alchemist.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
A.
I mean, the fact that Zeus... thunder right on cue. It's a good moment. That's a good moment. Full Metal Alchemist. Telemachus, thy guest that sits in the halls, does thee no shame. In no wise did I miss my mark, nor was I wearied with the long bending of the bow. Still is my might steadfast, not as the wooers say scornfully to slight me. But now is it time that supper to be got ready for the Achaeans, while Odysseus and set it in his hands, and he called forth the nurse. Wait. Oh gosh.
For the Achaeans, well, it
I
is
fucked
yet.
up. Yeah, wait. I was pressing the wrong button. Wrong button.
Fuck.
Where am I? Bloated beggar. Telemachus, thy
now
guest
the time
that sits
that
in the halls. There we go. Okay. I jumped. I'm holding my keyboard so as not to make noise with it in the microphone. And sometimes I hit a button where it jumps a bunch of pages. But now is it time that supper too be got ready for the Achaeans while it is yet light. Oh, okay. And thereafter must we make other sport with the dance and the lyre, for these are the crown of the feast. Therewith he nodded with bent brows, and Telemachus, the dear son of divine Odysseus, girt his sharp sword about him, and took the spear in his grasp, and stood by his high seat at his father's side, armed with gleaming bronze. Boom, baby!
Oh.
Now we know
I
what
didn't realize
happens
there's that
next.
much left to read. I'm so sorry. The way my pages are like lined up, it is not.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
It's.
We're so close.
We do know what happens next now.
I mean, it was satisfying to see him, to read about him, taking that bow.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So,
So,
is this where we want to call it for tonight? Do we want to keep on rolling? How do we want to play this?
we are calling it.
Yes.
Okay. And Satil, are we then going to do some Anne of Avonlea, or are we just calling it?
I have not yet had dinner.
Ah, so we set the dinner out for the Satil as well as the Achaeans. Okay.
Yes.
No worries, no worries. Let's get you some dinner then.
I'm looking at the time. Yeah, but let's DM about and of Avonlea and figure out a day. I'd like to do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. In the meanwhile, thank you everyone so much for joining us. I really appreciate getting to spend some time with y'all here. And yeah, I guess I don't need to raid out to anybody, since I'm, not live. So
That's true. That's true.
I might just leave you two to wrap things up here. And
Okay.
until next time, I'll be waiting.
Alrighty. See
Alright.
you around, Celine.
Sounds good. Bye, Celine.
Bye.
Let's see.
Scene.
I don't have a raid target. You will. Maybe.
I'm also okay with calling it with. Let me just do a quick scan through and see.
Grundle. Grundle's
We
on.
don't. Yeah.
Molly's on.
Oh. Let's rate it to Molly. We haven't rated into. Yeah. It's been forever.
Alright. Alright.
Okay, so I guess we gotta separate the chat here, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm still gonna be in the Discord so I can talk with you for a little bit after stream though.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and end the collaboration. I think I'm gonna raid Grundle, so you go ahead and raid Molly.
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna deafen on here and then I'll talk afterwards.
Okay. You got it.
Okay. Bye for now.
On to Grundles. Alright. See everybody later. We got 2 books left now. I'm excited to read it. Bye.